We are back in the laundromat. It's coin counting day, and I don't think we're going to do very good this week, just based on what I've seen in the change box, in the coin boxes so far this week. And we had issues as well with this change machine earlier today, but it is working now. So we've got some money in here. People have been using the laundromat, but we've had some really good weeks recently, and I don't think this week is just going to be nearly as good. So this is all the cash we've gotten from Monday through Friday, and we'll count that up and see how much there is. There's a decent amount, but we normally would have a little bit more than that. And then we'll count coins in the coin boxes and the washers and dryers and see what that is. And of course, compare that to what we've done in previous weeks as well with our charts and graphs. And here's what it looked like on Monday when I came in here after the weekend. Usually the weekends are definitely our biggest sales. And there was a fair amount of cash in here. That ended up being $850 in cash in the machines after the weekend, which is decent, but nowhere near our record of over $1,000. So that's one indication why I don't think it's going to be that good. And honestly, the weekend was okay. It was the weekdays that seemed to be super slow and just not many people in. We've had super nice weather, super warm. Maybe that's the reason. Who knows? But we had about $600 there, so about $1,400 and some total in cash, which isn't awful. All right, so nobody's actually in the laundromat right now, but there are people doing laundry, and there are people waiting outside, so I can do my witty commentary for now. Now I'm doing something different this week. Usually I have the washer money already in here from the top ones because we have to empty those twice a week. This week, I'm gonna keep track of what those make separately and see what percent they are. So we'll see what's in these and back. That's almost nothing. And I checked this one earlier this week too, and it had very little in it. So I don't know if that's because the ones up front are being used more or if it's just a slow week. That's not real great either. And just from looking at the camera activity and money in the change box, it looks like it should be a slower week, but not an awful week. But these back ones aren't doing great, we'll say that. The money will be up front. But it's mostly clean in here, most of the machines are working, that's what's important. And the machines in back definitely get used less than the ones up front, that's for sure. Well, that's better. Our best week was about a month ago, where these were just all so full. Well, that's not bad either. I don't know what it was about that week, but it's crazy. Of course, someone had to come in and ruin my fun when I was talking to myself, and they did look at me kind of strange because I didn't realize they walked in and I was talking to myself. And that's why I tend not to talk to myself when I'm in there. If I say talk to myself enough, then maybe I'll stop talking to myself. But these aren't very good at all. So yeah, it's definitely not going to be record-breaking. Hopefully it's not awful. But yeah, those are pretty awful boxes. So hoping the front machines have a lot more in them to make up for it. Maybe the dryers have more in them. You know, we recently raised prices on the dryers a little bit, so if we do have a down week on the washers, maybe that will help make up for it a little bit. But yeah, this is not very good. We've been having such good weeks up until now. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it's just a fluke, something weird, and not that everyone just decided my laundromat sucks and they need to go somewhere else. Hope not. Okay, we can talk again. Again, definitely less than there has been. And I was talking to myself when that person came in here. That's not horrible. And they always look at me a little strange. That's why I don't like doing it. This is the machine we fixed. It's making money again, that's good. Its door was broken. Had almost no problems with these Hips machines. The Horizons, on the other hand, do give us quite a few problems. And they look way prettier too. See. Not bad. Again, I know we're not breaking any records. We'll see if it's lower or how low it is. Oh, that one's pretty full. And our bucket's not going to look as full this week as normal because we're only doing, that's pretty good too. The machines from this row back. That's all of those machines. And then we'll also collect a separate bucket for just these front 4 machines and show you the difference. Now, this is our biggest machine here. It's a 60 pounder, 50 pounder, 40 pounder, 50 pounder. Even though it looks shorter, it's because the base is shorter. That's why it looks different. We have a 150 pounder in the very, very back, but all of our big machines are up here. So it's not just that they're up front, it's also that they're our biggest machines, and those are the machines people really like to use. People who have washers and dryers will come in with tons of laundry, and they can get, 10 loads done in an hour or two, instead of, taking all day long at home. And so this was me collecting quarters on Monday, because the front machines I have to collect twice, or the coin boxes get too full and jam up the machines. We've had that happen before. And the weekend wasn't awful. The weekend was okay. We collected $850 in cash, and these coin boxes were decently full. So, it wasn't anything crazy or outlandishly low. Not bad there, but we've definitely seen fuller boxes. But we also have 4 machines up front now, because we recently moved a machine up front, where we used to only have 3. So, people could be spreading out their money between these machines now instead of just putting them all in 3 of them. And not bad. They're a little lower than normal, I feel like. So that was Monday, and then this is today, collecting quarters from the same machines. And okay, I don't think that machine, that's the one we moved in, I don't think that one's at risk of overflowing the coin box if we didn't empty it twice a week, but we might as well. This one, again, okay, not record-breaking, but they look a little better than the machines in back that were so empty. I think that's just because if the laundromat isn't that busy, that was a good box there. That was a heavy one. People just use big machines, and then when it's super busy, then they have to, are forced to use the machines in back. So I think that's what happens to make sure that guy is in there and secure. We are missing one screw there. I need to fix that too. And then this is our biggest one. We did replace the belt on it, and that's pretty heavy too. That doesn't look as full, but that box is taller. So that box actually holds a lot more than the other ones. All right, we'll count both. All right, we've done the washers, definitely less in there. So guessing there'll be less here. Sometimes people use that one. It works, just it has no heat. Who knows, maybe there will be just massive amounts of quarters in the dryers this week. You never know. It's not a massive amount. It's more than nothing. These aren't bad. The machines that get used the most are definitely up front. The top ones definitely get used more than the bottom ones. Not looking like a massive amount. A moderate to mild amount. That one was okay. Not very much. A little better. Okay. Okay. Not very good. Usually people use, that one's decent. When there's lots of people in here and they have to use the bottom ones because the tops are full. You see the bottom drawers with much more money. So I don't think there were massive amounts of people here because the bottom ones weren't really used that much. As you see these gold, just kind of weird color on them. There are some quarters that are part of like proof sets and stuff. That's pretty good. That's a good one. But I don't think that was one of them. And we ended on a decent one. So we'll count this up and see what's there. Have our sales chart, show you what it looks like. See how low it is. We're definitely not going to be breaking records. And hopefully it was still an okay amount. But we'll see. Now here, of course, is our vending machine. And I did restock it earlier this week. And it's been working okay for a while there. People are just jamming it with odd coins and weird stuff. And there's a decent amount in there. I know that we've been selling stuff because I have had to replace it. We also have the pop machine, and that's been doing okay. We recently switched to Coke, so we'll see how it is out. And you can see that my box was not in there correctly because there are quarters everywhere. So nothing is super empty. Nothing needs to be refilled, so that's okay. We'll count that here soon too. And then of course we have the soap machine as well. Oh, nobody is using soap apparently, or laundry detergent. Last week we were almost empty on a lot of these, and now that they're mostly full, so there's not going to be much in here. Interesting. So I guess when people don't do as much laundry, they don't use as much soap, and the quarters won't come out of the bin either. I still will refill this because I like to see it full, and then it gives me a good measure of how much is used, but that wasn't much at all. All right, so let's count the money and see what we've got. This first one, if I did this correctly, is the vending machine. And so, of course we've got, oh no, that's not the vending machine. That was the soap machine and pop machine. Both much, much lower than we've seen recently. Well, the pop machine wasn't horrible, but the soap machine was way, way lower, and I knew that too going into this. Now this is a vending machine. Oh, I was doing things in all kinds of crazy orders today because that one person came in, and yeah. But this is a vending machine, and this is the first time using the coin machine, so it takes some time to warm up to decide if it likes me or not. It was deciding for quite a while, going as slow as possible. Later on, it decided it was okay and would work. 156. Plus I had an extra quarter fall off, I think, but not awful. That was actually pretty good for that one. Now we are doing the washer money from just the washers up front. So we're gonna see what percentage we have from them versus what we have from the rest of the washers. So we have 4 up front. We've got 5, 10, 15, 18, 22. So this is 4 washers versus 22, and we will see which ones win, and it'll probably be a lot closer than you think. And yeah, so this is my 2 collections from Monday, and then 1 from today. And this was not as full as we've seen those before. They did okay, but we've definitely seen a lot more money in them before. So we'll have to try this again a different week when we've got more money in the machines and see how that all looks. But let's see, we ended up with $16.05, in that range, just in the washers up front. Now we will see what we have from all of the rest of the washers. So this is the whole other 22. And it's spewing quarters at me. It kicks out quarters that it thinks are not quarters or have issues. And it wasn't kicking out too many to begin with, but it kept kicking out later on. There goes me throwing one. Got that one. My record for quarters collected is like 5,500 total. We are not going to come close to that. I could tell by the size of my bucket now, but we are not coming close to that. We have a lot of quarters in the bucket that it's picking out into because we had a lot of quarters left in that bucket from the last week. And I think pretty soon we're going to have to take some quarters to the bank. So for the most part, we take the cash out and keep recycling the quarters, but over time we do usually collect more quarters than cash. So there you go, 2,000, 3, 4, 5 quarters from the rest of the washers. So it was 1,600 versus 2,000, very close to being the same for both of them. That's pretty crazy, and definitely less than we have been collecting lately. So we may have to do that again sometime. Now here are the dryers. We'll see if they make up a huge difference from what the washers had. Usually not. It doesn't make much sense that people would come in just to use the dryers. But there are a few people who have come in just to dry things. I don't know if something just got wet and it wasn't washed or what happened. Hopefully, it wasn't like them peeing on it or something. But you never know. So we have seen that before. But for the most part, people usually use the washers, and they may use the dryers. They may take sometimes wet clothes home and hand or dry them outside sometimes too. So in the past, I always wanted to get at least 1,200 quarters from the dryers, and now that we've been doing better, I want to see at least 1,500. We're not going to get to 1,500, but we did get to 1,200. Made me feel slightly better. It's still not a great week. All right, so here is our chart starting December. When we opened up, we took it over in September, retooled, did a bunch of stuff. So we've been doing better. We've been seeing some great improvements lately. This week wasn't so great, but hopefully it was just an anomaly, and we continue to do better in the following weeks. Maybe it's because it was such a nice week. It was kind of our first warm, hot week of the year. Maybe it's because school is out and people are going on vacations. Who knows? There could be all kinds of reasons why, and it's really hard to know exactly the reasons. Now, what is interesting is I have the other small laundromat, and it did pretty good this week. So it did not have an off week, so who knows why it happened. But here you can see we had a great week. The start of May, and we had some other pretty good weeks, a couple really great weeks at the end of May there too, and then this week, a down week, 1,292. Not awful, not horrible. What we can still take from this is our down weeks are better than our good weeks 2 months ago, which is really cool. So hopefully it keeps going up. We keep seeing improvements, more people coming, and we'll see. The washers were down. The dryers actually had a higher percentage than they have been having recently. So they did help make up a little bit. Vending was decent. Soap was way down. Pop was fine. Those don't really matter too much. It's really the washers and dryers. So could have been worse. Hopefully it's better next week. Hopefully we don't have any issues, but the cleaner's been doing good. It's clean in there. People have been happy. Haven't been having too many complaints. I did mention our change machine broke. I've got a short on that. I just posted today, Friday, June 7th, in case you are watching this at a different time. And the short shows what happened and how we fixed it. And I think it was just down for a little tiny bit. So that worked out okay. And yeah, we'll keep posting. We'll keep seeing what happens. We'll keep counting quarters. And hopefully our trends keep going up and up and up and up. That would be awesome to see. All right, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. We'll be back with more soon.